Today I back my Delonix that was sent to me by Jarhead over at Jarhead Bonsai. Go and check out his channel after this video to see how his Delonix is doing, as well as the other 30 million trees he owns. I'll just put a link below for you. But this tree is pretty tropical for my climate, and even though it lives on the grow light, I can't seem to get it quite to be 100% happy. As you can see, it's grown really well, and if you go back to how this tree arrived, it's worlds apart, but I still can't quite get things right. You can probably see here that some of the leaves are yellowing and kind of dropping off. It seems to do this throughout the year. It sends out some new growth and then in other areas randomly dies back. It's kind of an unusual structure as well, as those small leaves are actually all part of a bigger leaf. So the tree grows one new leaf, only for another one to start to die back, and another little leaves turn yellow and drop off. It's been doing that all season and has done it every year, and I can't work out why. Although here it'll be shutting down for winter, which is in itself strange as it's supposed to be a tropical evergreen. But it is also inside on the grow light, and while I'm knowing the levels here and things are getting a little colder, it shouldn't really be enough to make it go totally dormant. But every year so far it's done exactly that. As the winter progresses, it kind of slowly drops all its leaves until it's just a bare stick. I'm starting to think that's just what this tree does. Other people have said it does pretty much the same in their climates, and the fact the trunk is getting thicker over time, I'll just have to assume it's healthy and it's totally normal for it. I am still surprised by these two leaves here in March. They look like they're barely holding on, but spring is approaching and I'll be repotting it soon. It's only down to one leaf in April, but you'll see in a second that's starting to wake up, so I'm going to repot it now, which I haven't actually done before, so this is going to be interesting to see what's going on in there. But first, look at those buds. It hasn't looked very happy for the last few months, but all those buds say quite the opposite. I started by removing the moss, which looks great here. You'll see at certain times of the season it looks kind of dry and brown, but here it's looking very lush and it's actually quite a thick layer. But it was also starting to grow up the trunk, which is not ideal, so I just brushed that off with an old toothbrush. I really have no idea what's going to be in here. I don't even think I've seen someone repot one of these, so I'm not even sure what to expect. It's a bit tight, but this pot is plastic, so it will bend a little. And it's a good shape too, so it should come out easy enough, which it did after a few chops. At first glance it doesn't look too bad, although that bottom left hand corner is looking pretty black, which could mean that area has died. I've always wondered if the yellowing of the leaves has been a problem with the soil, but this is the same mix I use for all my other trees. And it's very loose and well draining, so it shouldn't really be an issue, but clearly we have some dead roots here. When I was raking everything out, the soil was fine, still loose, and things were not too compact. It's probably the right time to repot though. The pot wasn't overly root bound, but it was a nice level of full. After I had everything raked out, I was left with this. Well, it's quite the sight. It's kind of like a ficus in the way that the main taproot is just a big, thick kind of growth, and there's a few normal sized looking roots, so it's definitely on a good root ball. I decided to remove that big lump and it was really weird. It just kind of snapped off. You'll see me fumbling around here trying to get the pruners in, but I didn't even cut it. Just the pressure of the pruners pushing against it snapped it off. It was like a really weird texture. It was almost hard, but it was like really soft and almost damp. I have no idea if that's normal or if it's been rotting. Maybe that's why the leaves keep going yellow. Maybe the roots had been too wet, even in this well-draining soil. Could explain why that bottom part looked dead. It's all very strange. I then did try to prune the rest, and you'll see this kind of comes away in weird lumps due to it being soft and wet. Even here you can see him just breaking bits off of my hand. I guess it looks a bit better now. It's still a terrible root ball, but this is the first work, and I guess we'll see how it responds from this. Hopefully positively. I then just give the normal sized roots a bit of a light pruning, which will hopefully encourage them to grow a bit better. I then just potted it back up, and to be fair, that was pretty drastic for it, especially since I have no idea how it's going to react. but I think it'll be fine. There's not too much change in May. The buds are pretty much open and the leaves are pretty small here. It does look a lot better in June, so I think I got away with that root work. In July it's back to its normal self, having some of the leaves go yellow. But I guess that's just what it does. Who knows, but it's growing, so that's all that matters. And here we are now, where it's looking okay. It's nothing amazing, but it's slowly doing its thing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.